Welcome back. Welcome back. Thank you for joining us and tuning in. You could be anywhere doing anything else, but you chose this at this time, right here, right now. So let's get these topics popping. Cheer! All right, y'all. First of all, I got a couple topics that I would like to address. A lot of them won't be popular. Just my opinion. Just throwing it out there how I feel from what I've seen and how I've evaluated it. Don't have to agree, disagree. I mean, it is what it is. I'm just giving my opinion. But the first thing is this kind of resurgence back to 2019. I don't think that it's going to work. Like, if that is the plan, if that is the blueprint that we are laying right now, I just think that it's lazy. I think that if you're trying to resurrect something that worked in the regular season but didn't work in the postseason, like, you're crazy. Like, something is really wrong with you. And I know you're going to say, hey, we're going to tweak some things, we're going to do some of this and do some of that. It's been 2 years, almost three. It's been almost 3 seasons since 2019. We haven't tweaked anything yet. Like, our offense has not been tweaked. We run the same stuff. Lamar said it, Hollywood said it, everybody says it. We're running the same system. So what you're telling me now is you want to go back to a system that failed us in the playoffs with maybe less talent than we had going in. Now, everybody says, oh, they couldn't defend the three tight end set. It was a problem. It was a monster. It was a beast. Yes, it was. Like, we were literally unstoppable. No, even the best defensive teams in the league had their issues slowing us down. Is Lamar a better passer at this point? Most definitely. Will Bateman equal up to what Hollywood did? We don't know. But the biggest obstacle that I think we will have to overcome is they have tape. That is one of the most important things that you can have in any sport when you have tape on someone. That's why when these backup quarterbacks come into games, they look like all-stars because teams don't have tape on them. So they don't know how to play them. They don't know how to prepare for them. They don't know tendencies. Everybody already knows what Greg Roman's tendencies are. And if you gave them a full season to dissect what he does in his three tight end set, like, come on. Do y'all really think that it's going to work? Do you really think that Greg Roman is talented enough to alter his scheme to where teams aren't going to know what's coming? Teams aren't going to know what's hitting them. I don't have that confidence. Now, granted, we do have some other offensive minds in the room now, but we don't know who's in control. We don't know who has that final say. So all I'm asking is for everyone to hit that pause button, pump them brakes a little bit and think that, yeah, well, we going back to 2019 and with all the draft picks that we brought in on defense, we going to kill them. We don't know. Like, we really don't know. Everybody in the AFC is racking their game up. Like, they stacking and they building. Even the Jaguars are trying to get better. So you just thinking that going back to a scheme that worked in the past is gonna help you, it's not necessarily true. Like, shit, if that's the case, somebody might bring back the run and shoot and see how that works. Some things are in the past for a reason. We need to get with the times and stop playing around. We need to get a position I won't name because I know y'all tired of talking about it, but we need to get someone dominant in that position. Bateman may be great, but he won't be enough. Like, we need somebody else to take that pressure off. Get with the modern day. This 2019 season was just what it was. It's in the past. Like, I don't believe it's going to be resurrected. And who's to say that the draft picks that you got can live up to those expectations? Like, likely is projected to be a wide receiver on his roster. Like, what? Come on now. Like, come on. Just temper your expectations and hope that somebody with cooler heads prevails and says, you know what, we're going in a different direction. Now, this brings me to the Jarvis Landry signing. Like, I literally am tired of hearing about Jarvis Landry coming to Baltimore. Who cares? Who really cares? Like, Jarvis Landry is not that dominant wide receiver that's going to make a difference. And more importantly, do we not have enough slot receivers? Do we not have enough dudes that play the slot? So not only are you banking on unproven talent, you want to switch their positions? Because everybody can't play in the slot. You're going to have to put somebody on the outside. And I'm not sure if Duvernay, Wallace, or Proche can play the outside. I've seen Landry play the outside. Wasn't always the greatest, and he's a little bit older now. So please stop thinking that Jarvis Landry is going to make a difference. There is a reason that this man is still unsigned. There is a reason that a wide receiver depleted team like the Cleveland Browns didn't bring him back. It's the same situation as Alejandro Villanueva. They didn't want him for a reason. So please, let's not make the same mistake and bring him back. And more importantly, I'm sorry, not bring him back, but bring him to the team. But more importantly, I just read in Late for Work today that EDC said there are times when James Proche is unguardable. I mean, if your general manager is telling you that that man's unguardable, then who am I to say the man can't play? But what does that say about your coaching staff? That he's a healthy scratch. If this man is damn near unguardable at times and you sit him down on game day for no apparent reason, are we to believe that you are a bad evaluator? Or is your coaching staff just bad at coaching? Which one is it? So now you want me to have these high expectations of what we're going to do with a team full of bench guys, full of role players. You say they have talent, the coaches don't. You expect me to believe that this coaching staff is going to coach these three dudes up? I don't see it. They haven't so far. In Harbaugh's tenure, he has not coached up anyone. Either they came in knowing how to play, or they fizzled out, or they've gotten worse. I have not seen them coach any wide receiver up at all. But we have T. Martin and Keith Williams. Granted. But if the dudes can't play, they can't play. I don't care who you have teaching them the ins and outs of the game. Like, it's just not going to make a difference. So I'm going to say pass to Jarvis Landry. I know some of y'all don't like that, but we should have drafted one in the first round. Miss me with that. Next, I want to talk a little bit about the David Ojabo pick. I'm not surprised because I knew that we would be the team to pick him in the second round. I knew it. It wasn't a big surprise to me. What was a surprise to me was we knew that we had traded away another player and we specifically had a need on offense that we could have done something about. But yet and still, nepotism crept in once again, as it always does, and we start trading people. Like, I don't know what kind of freaky stuff they got going on where them hardballs keep trading people back and forth, but this is a pick we did not need. Like, we didn't need David Ojabo. People can say, yeah, well, he's a first round talent. He's going to show out when he gets healthy. Him and Owe are going to do great things. It's a possibility, but he can't help us now. He can't help us now. And I don't care how great your secondary is. If you do not have a pass rush, it makes no difference. They can only cover but for so long. And Bowser's out hurt, so that takes away two options that we have now. So now we're not necessarily down a man, we're down two men until the both of them get healthy. And what's really getting to me is, how is this pick going to play out? Because with all the injuries, especially the one of Stanley, we may be very cautious and say, you know what, let's hold him out the year, bring him back next year. He comes back next year. He doesn't do too well. And people are going to say, hey, he's recovering from an injury. So we give him a pass. Like, I didn't expect him to do much. He just came off an injury. It takes about a year or so to get over that injury. Okay, that's fine. Now what ends up happening is we go to year 3. In year 3, he does a little bit better, but it's not all that we had hoped that he would be. So what happens is we start giving him another excuse. He's about to get fully healthy. Let's give him one more year. And we give him that one more year. In his fourth year, David Ojabo balls out. Like, this dude has like 13, 14, 15 sacks. Like, dude balls out. He's finally healthy. He understands the game. He's doing his thing. What's going to happen then? He's going to price himself out of Baltimore. So essentially, we have got 3 wasted years, and we got a 4th year where he did his thing. We're not going to get a 5th year because we don't pay people. We don't pay talent. We let him go and say we'll replace him. Now, if this does happen, what was the point in drafting him? What was the point in drafting him for him to heal and then to go somewhere else? All the while, we keep letting seasons slip by where we fail Lamar, where we fail putting talent around Lamar and keep saying, let's wait, let's wait, let's wait. We could have drafted someone that helps us this year. And that is my only problem with the Ajabo pick. We could have drafted someone that could have helped us this upcoming season instead of waiting on somebody to get right. Now, listen. The show says it all. Crush excuses. I'm trying to crush all these excuses. I'm trying to do better and get past all of this nonsense. But some of y'all take stuff too far. Like, honestly, I understand. Your enthusiasm for the team, like, you get excited, you drink the Kool-Aid that they pour you in a cup. Like, I get all of that. But there is no way on God's green earth that I'm going to believe that you all are overly excited about undrafted free agent wide receivers. I'm not going to do it. Like, I'm not going to believe that y'all are like, oh, wait till we get to see what they do. Oh, when we get them on the field, it's about to be on and popping. Really? Really? Like, I'm not one to judge, but some of them dudes went undrafted for a reason. And you mean to tell me all those teams picked over them for 7 rounds and we found steals to come in and contribute to this team? Now, it was, what is it, 5 or 6 of them? I think we took in 6 unrestricted, undrafted free agents. And out of those 6, one of them had 1,000 yards. The rest of them had under 700. Some even had under 400. So you mean to tell me you didn't produce at a Pac-12 school or a Division II school, but you're going to come into the NFL as an undrafted free agent and y'all are going to ball out in a Greg Roman offense? In a Greg Roman offense, these undrafted rookies are going to come take us to the promised land. And y'all really expect me to believe y'all excited about that? I'm calling BS. Like, I'm calling BS. But when somebody says something to y'all, oh, you don't know, we're going to do this and we're going to do that. We have this and we have that. We have a lot of stuff. But apparently we don't have evaluators of talent when it comes to wide receiver. Apparently not. Because we've been struggling for all these years. Now, I know we are sick of talking wide receivers. And I'm sick of it. And I tried my best. I sat here for days and was like, I had a couple of bullets in the chamber. But I'm like, I'm not going to do it because I'm not talking about wide receivers anymore. But I just keep hearing the constant chatter, especially in the Twitter spaces, especially on IG, about how this undrafted class is going to come in and snatch some jobs. So you got some 5th, 6th, 3rd round undrafted free agent rookies that are going to come in here and elevate us from the top, from a bottom 3 wide receiver room up into the middle somewhere. I know y'all don't believe it. I know y'all don't believe it, but hey, you got to find enthusiasm somewhere. You got to pump yourself up. You got to work yourself into a frenzy. But I'm here to let you know it's not happening. And once this season is over, if, not saying we are, but if we don't make it because of this wide receiver room, y'all going to sit back and say, oh, we got a plan for next year. How many next years are we going to have before we get it right? You have other teams out there doing it. They going for it. They're going for it. And you say, oh, well, they in this win now mode and sacrificing the future. Well, some of these picks and players that they're getting are pretty young. So it's not just a win now mode. It's for the future because some of them people are going to be there for years to come. And that's one position or one player that they don't have to worry about. We constantly have to keep worrying about the same things. We should have gotten a wide receiver this year because guess what? Next year, we're going to be looking to replace Queen. We're going to be looking to replace Calais Campbell. We're going to be looking to replace Derek Wolfe. Don't know what we're going to do with Marcus Peters. We have so many moving parts that we have to deal with next year. Whereas we should have taken care of some things this year. Because I guarantee you, next year, receiver is going to be very high up in the priorities list. Will we take care of it? Doubt it. Will we draft it? Maybe. But it's going to be a need. And then we have all of these other pieces on defense that we have to refill. So this is something that we should have done now. And don't say, hey, the offseason's not over. We have this, and the third. We got time before the season starts. Okay, well, that person needs to come in and get that continuity with the quarterback. That person needs to come in and familiarize themselves with the organization and the people around them. This should have been a plan in place as soon as you knew you were going to trade he who will not be named to Arizona. As soon as you knew you were going to trade him, you should have had a plan in place of, okay, we're going to go after this guy, we're going to pick this guy, we're going to trade for that guy. You should have did one of those things, but it's nothing. Like, the draft is here and gone. Like, we about to get into the schedule. You know what I'm saying? OTAs and everything about to be on and popping, and we've done nothing. So y'all can miss me with that. Oh, we don't know what he has planned. He don't know what he has planned because it should have been planned by now, and that's a good GM to me. A good GM to me has a plan in place. We need to stop playing checkers and start playing chess. And that's all I got to say for this one. It's about that time. Here we come. Here we come. Here we come.